women in their 40s enter a natural stage of transformation, a time of new opportunities and renewed vitality. In traditional Chinese medicine, this stage is celebrated as a powerful transition, in sharp contrast to the Western view of menopause, which often frames it as a period of decline or even illness that must be treated. But how can a woman make this fundamental shift in perspective and fully embrace what in China is called the second spring? My guest today, Elizabeth Estrada, shares both the theory and practical methods to help women tap into their inner resources and step into this empowering new phase of life. My name is Thorsten Lüdecke, and this is the Zhineng Qigong podcast. So hello everyone, welcome to this episode of the Zhineng Qigong podcast. I'll have to start this episode by sharing something funny because only like 2 hours ago I received a message about a new Zhineng Qigong practitioner who is a listener of our podcast, and she says, look, you've got so many vibrant, mature women on your show. Why don't you tackle the topic of menopause or this phase in the life of a woman? And the funny thing was that I had scheduled this podcast with Elizabeth Estrada quite some time ago, because Elizabeth is actually working on a great workshop that she is launching very soon about exactly this topic. So it's very funny that this student picked up that I will have this conversation with you today, Elizabeth. Welcome to the show, and I suggest we dive right in. What made you create this workshop? Why are you interested in this particular phase of a woman's life?
Yes. First of all, thank you very much, Thorsten, for having me in your podcast. And on the other hand, it's it's amazing, no, what you said, that a woman is asking for this topic, no. So this for me reflects the power of the chi field, you know. So yeah, it's very nice. But answering your question, I have to tell you that, first of all, I am 56 years old and I entered to this phase of menopause 10 or 11 years ago. Okay. And in general, I believe this stage without problems or discomfort associated with menopause. However, approximately 2 years ago, I began a period of insomnia, you know, and immediately I thought, this is part of menopause. So as we are educated in our Western countries, I said, I have to go to the doctor and I have to visit my doctor. So I went to the homeopathic doctor, and he prescribed me some homeopathic medication and several natural supplements, you know, and I took them for a period of time. But when I stopped taking them, the insomnia returned. And I thought, this is not a good, solution for me. This is not the best solution for me. And afterwards, I went to another doctor who practices natural medicine, and he prescribed me some natural medication and also natural supplements. And this time, I can tell you that I quickly felt like they helped me sleep better. However, I felt that the process of sleeping was not natural. Because as soon as I took the supplements, I felt like I needed to sleep at that moment, And on the other hand, I felt how taking these supplements generated me, let's say, unreal emotions, because I felt happier, but I knew that greater joy was generated by the supplements, not by myself. And I didn't like that. No? So,
Right.
and additionally, when I stopped taking the supplements, again, the insomnia returned. And that's why in that moment, I decided to investigate if Eastern medicine had a different vision, a different approach of menopause. And fortunately, yes, I found a different perspective in the traditional Chinese medicine. And, they recognizes menopause as a natural period in our life and approaches it naturally. And I like that, no? So I began to study more, to study why and how the changes women experience during this period occur. And yes, this ancient knowledge is wonderful. And for me, the most wonderful thing is that we can continue using this knowledge today, you know. And I can give you, I can share with you, let's say, an overall overview. So we can say that in the West, menopause is seen as a stage of decline, number one. Menopause in our countries is the beginning of aging, and also is a period treated as an illness, because it's the way our culture has educated us, And in contrast, in the East, the traditional Chinese medicine, for them, menopause is seen as a stage of new opportunities and renewed energy. Also, this stage is seen as a period in which we can reach our fullest potential, and very important, a natural period in which we can use our own internal resources to live life to the fullest. So you can see that
I would like to add to that, because I was already reluctant just to call it menopause, because menopause, the word carries information, and it is a little bit like a diagnosis from a doctor. Okay, you've got this disease or that disease. This is like this is what we associate just by hearing the word menopause. So I really like that you introduce a different concept here. And in our conversations before, you said that the Chinese actually call it the second spring. And this is exactly what you described when you said, okay, what is associated with it? It's new opportunities. It's, it's stepping into your power as a woman, just from a different perspective now. And I think this is, we all know in the world of Qigong how important information is. This is why I would encourage, everyone to think of it that way, and to either redefine the word menopause completely, or maybe skip it altogether and just talk about the second spring, because that is so much more empowering. But I didn't want to interrupt you. I just wanted to add this because I think it is very important.
Yes, definitely, you're right. And very important also is that it's not, a philosophical point of view. It is something, let's say, real, something that is happening in our bodies, in our bodies, emotions, mind, So it's something real. And yes, this Chinese approach is called second spring. And second spring, let me tell you, is the stage in a woman's life following the cessation of the menstruation. Okay? However, we can begin to experience its effects 10 years before the complete cessation of menstruation. And this is going to accompany us for the rest of our lives. And that's why it's not just a moment in our life. It's an important stage in our life, you know? So in some cases, I think that second spring is let's say the longest, the longest period in a woman's life. Okay, so let me stress this point, to understand that second spring is a stage, is not a moment in our life. And some of us have a let me put in this way, a special sensibility to detect the changes, no, before the cessation of menstruation. But even if we don't detect, no, or perceive those changes, the change is happening. The change is happening. And so our passage to second spring takes place over a number of years and involves we have to say this, a complicated series of changes that is not restricted to our periods or the physical aspect, but also emotions, mind, and I can say the way we see life. This new stage help us to, if we are aware of the changes, help us to reframe our vision of life. So that's why I decided to investigate and study more deeply what menopause means in Chinese medicine. And I would like to very briefly share with you what the second spring is about. Okay? So according to the traditional Chinese medicine, a woman's life evolves in 7-year cycles. This is a very nice view, no? A very deep view. And today I want to share with you two of these, let's say, cycles. For example, when we reach 35 years old, I mean 7 times 5, our spleen starts to slow down. And with this, the production of qi, blood, and some essential substances decrease. Okay? And if we know the theory of the 5 Sang and Fu organs, we know that muscles, for example, are governed by the spleen. And as it weakens, the muscles begin to loosen. And now in our Western countries, there is a strong trend encouraging women to go to the gym, and to, let's say, train their muscles. And that's good. And I'm sure that, it is going to help in some way. But the root, of the change is the, let's say, the functions of the spleen are changing. That's the root of this change that we can notice in our body. And also, by the age of 49, 7 times 7, okay, we have less blood, less qi, and less essential substances, okay? And we start using more of our savings. Let me put it that way. By savings, I am talking about some essential substances that we have accumulating through our lives. So when at this period, in our life, we have less blood, qi, and essential substances. And we use more of our savings. And with less blood produced, the penetrating vessel, which carries blood to the uterus, will not be full, okay? And as a consequence, the uterus will not overflow with its excess, okay? And our menstruation will diminish and eventually cease. But, and this is, wow, wonderful for me, but in an effort to preserve or to conserve our essential substances, our, let's say, our body, our wisdom, let's say that sent the order to the body, stop the bleeding, okay? So in this way, okay, we stop the monthly, discharge of blood. And in our countries, in the Western world, we see it as the beginning of aging and the decline of our overall health, when it is, in fact, our body's natural effort to slow down the aging process.
My name is Torsten Lüdecke, and I have news for you. You can now access our podcasts in a very different way. If you would like to go back to any of the episodes and you just remember a certain topic or you have a certain question, please use our new bot and ask that question. Not only will you get an answer based on all the episodes we have produced before, you will also be able to directly access the very episode at exactly the point your topic and your question was mentioned. Please use this bot and make sure you don't miss out on this wonderful new feature of our podcast. The intelligent way of the body respond and say, this is the way not to deplete my resources. This is the way to make sure my essential substances are not depleted, which is exactly the opposite of what the West sees it, like, oh my God, you're getting old. It's saying, no, this is my way of keeping me young, right?
Exactly. That's right. That's right. Yeah. And with this, let's say that our feminine wisdom brings a new balance, a new balance. And since blood essential substances are not longer being lost on a monthly basis, the energy that had been used to ensure an adequate supply of blood, now we can use it for whatever we want or choose. So as a result of this, we can feel rejuvenated and experience an awakening of new potential, And that's why traditional Chinese medicine called this stage second spring. Okay? But, and this is also very important, everything is important in this stage, but the root of the changes we experience in this period, depends on the quantity, the quality, and harmony of the flow of qi, blood, and other essential substances. And this is why Zhineng Qigong is a good ally for us in this phase of our lives to live it fully. Okay?
So you were mentioning a few points here. Also, I want to go back to the spleen, and you made the connection of the spleen and the strength of the muscle. So if you do Qigong, for example, and you focus on the spleen, this would be an intelligent way to direct qi into the spleen and help the muscles to stay strong, right?
Okay, talking about the spleen and the 5 Zhineng organs, I think that it's important to understand that also the way we see, the way we see the organs is different. The way we see the traditional Chinese medicine see, not the function of the organs. In TCM, they see these organs are that the 5 organs are interconnected and depend, one with each other. So yes, in some way you are right, but we have to remember that the spleen is not an isolated organ, and that's why we have to, let's say, practice or to work in a holistic way, how we nurture the different organs. Okay?
Right. Thank you for clarifying that, Elizabeth.
Well, allow me, there is another important point when we talk about the 5 Zhineng organs. In fact, we should think in terms of systems, because of this, because these organs are interconnected with other organs, with tissues, with senses. So that's why each organ is a system, It's a system, let's say, close related with some tissues, close related with a sense, etc. But also all the organs are connected. They communicate each other, So it is important to think in terms of a system, Right. Each organ is a system.
Now, you've described very beautifully how in the Chinese ideas, or maybe altogether in the Asian ideas, the second spring is actually a new wave of energy that you are getting, because the body is so intelligent of how it deals with this phase of life. But not every woman experiences it that way. A lot of our listeners will say, well, that was not how I experienced this phase of my life. And I'm sure there are many, many reasons, and your workshop and your training will address these things so that people can actually make the shift and say, okay, this is how I saw it before, and this is where I want to get to. My initial suspicion here is that it has a lot to do with information, because the word menopause, as we said earlier, if I associate certain things with it that are not positive, I will, it's a bit like if I say to myself, oh, I'm sick, I will feel sick, right? My guess is that a lot of this has to do with the information. So if I don't understand what's actually happening in my body as a woman at that point, it's not surprising that I might be having all these undesired effects. And undesired emotions and consequences, rather than what you've described so beautifully, which is the second spring. Is that correct? Or how do you? What is the intention of your workshop? What are you doing with your students? How will you guide them there?
Yes, the intention of the workshops is to, first of all, that women understand this information, this, let's say, different, way we can approach to menopause. Because, as you know, information is, for me, it's the key of every change, that we can do in our life. So it's important that women, first of all, understand, what is second spring, what is happening, what is about, second spring, and that's why in the workshops I'm going to share methods, practice methods, but also these principles, this theory about second spring, about traditional Chinese medicine. So it's a combination, I say a beautiful combination of practice methods and theoretical information, principles. Because we need to, we Western women, we need to shift, the way we are approaching this stage. Because, as you said, every woman experience this stage in a different way. Some of us experience some physical, discomfort. Some other, perceive some emotional changes, or, how their mind change, in this period. And this approach of second spring gives us the opportunity, let's say, to cope this stage as a whole. Not only the physical aspect, but the emotional and mental aspect, and that's why I think it's a strong and a very good way to approach to this stage. Okay.
And how would you say, I mean, for me, when I hear this, I would say, wow, this is great for women that are now entering like 35, 40. So before the menstruation ceases, to understand what to expect. So their information field is set up in the most eloquent way so that they can benefit from this phase rather than having to deal with it. But what about women, that are already in the middle of this phase of their lives, or have even moved on and are now in their end 50s and so on? Would that still be valuable for them to basically reinterpret some of the things and use the Qigong exercises that you have to basically tap into these resources that they might not have tapped into before, just because they didn't know?
Yes, the point is that even if a woman have symptoms or a disease related to menopause or not, the root of everything is that we are going to face, or we are experiencing, or some women said, no, I already experienced menopause. No, from 35 to the rest of our lives, we are facing and experiencing a new balance, and this new balance is going to impact our physical body, our emotions, our mind, our whole being. And that's why it doesn't matter if you have 35, 40, 50, 70 years old, no? You can, let's say, join to nurture this balance, this new balance, This is the point.
Right. Elizabeth, I know you have put a lot of work and time into studying this, and I know you are also sharing a lot of your own personal experiences in the workshops, because your life wasn't always easy, and you had your challenges, and still you're sitting here in front of us as this vibrant woman, full of energy, full of beauty, and full of initiative. So I think it's a good example of you're also so creative. I mean, you're creating this beautiful work out of nothing. I don't think there's anything in the Qigong world that is addressing this topic specifically. So your first workshop will be in Spanish, because you are based in Mexico, and Spanish is your mother tongue. But we have spoken about the possibility that you will launch the same program in English at one point. So I would encourage all women here that are listening today, that are Spanish speakers, obviously, to go through your website, check it out, see what that's for them. And for the English speakers among our listeners, we are setting up a little link where they can just register that they are interested, if when the time comes that you will launch the English workshop for that as well, so that you can stay in touch with them and they can get the information if that is relevant to them and they feel like they want to explore it a little more in detail, right?
Yes, right. Thank you. And just to say that for women who want to learn more about second spring, as you said, I am currently sharing a free recorded class in Spanish now, at this moment in Spanish. For you, it's a 2-hour class, with more details, about second spring. So you can enter to my, website, and you can watch, anytime. And in November, we will begin with the first phase of the program. And as you said, for those women interested in taking, the program in English later, they can register.
Thank you very much. This was a really interesting conversation, and I hope that the woman that sent me the message, the email earlier today, will be very pleased that we are sharing this today. And I know you're going to inspire a lot of women, either just through this podcast, because they get a new take on menopause and the second spring, or in your workshops. So thank you very much for being here today, and as always, it's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you very much, Thorsten, for inviting me to your podcast. I hope this talk helps give women a first glimpse into how we can approach our second spring in a positive way. And I like to close with a Chinese saying that I think reflects in a very good way what the second spring is all about. And it says, women in their 30s are wolves. In their 40s, they are tigers. And in their 50s, they are dragons. This is a cultural metaphor that describes the evolution of feminine power and wisdom in Chinese culture, moving from cunning and independence when a woman is a wolf, to ferocity and strength when a woman is a tiger, and finally achieving a respected authority when a woman becomes a dragon. The dragon is a symbol of power, good fortune, and success in Chinese culture. And I think that the second spring can bring us closer to these values. So
we trust you enjoyed this conversation, and we invite you to subscribe to our podcast so we can stay in touch and notify you of future episodes. We will end today's episode with the 8 verses meditation performed by Zhineng Qigong teacher Katrin Hendricks. Enjoy.
Ding,
To get your free ebook on the 8 verses meditation, please check the show notes below.